Most people don't actually choose a polo shirt. They just pick the brand they recognize. And that's how they get you. A $100 polo can cost less than $10 to make. And the rest of that money? It's going into logos, ads, and marketing, not better quality. So let's start with the polo brands that are charging premium prices without delivering premium quality. Number 5. Tommy Hilfiger. Tommy Hilfiger still carries that premium casual image. But when you actually look at the product, it doesn't match the price. Most of their polos sit around $60 to $100. At that level, you'd expect solid fabric, something that holds its shape over time. Instead, what you usually get is a basic cotton blend, mass-produced, nothing standout. And the issue isn't that it's terrible, it's that it's priced like it's better than it is. There's no real detail about the fabric, no clear reason for the markup. What you're really buying is the flag logo and the familiarity of the name, and once you strip that away, there's not much left to justify the price. Number 4. Hugo Boss. Hugo Boss is positioned as a step above, something closer to luxury, and visually, it does look more refined. But the problem shows up when you actually wear it. You're paying $100 or more for a polo, and the fabric often feels lighter than it should at that price. Not terrible, but not impressive either. That's the issue. At this level, it shouldn't feel average. The branding, the image, the store experience, it all feels premium. But the product itself doesn't always live up to that expectation. So again, you're paying for the name more than the material. Number 3. Gant is one of those brands with a strong history. It started as a serious shirt maker, real quality, real craftsmanship. But over time, things changed. Different ownership, different production, and now the quality feels inconsistent. One piece might feel decent. The next one, completely different. That's a problem, because when you're paying $70 to $100, you expect consistency. You don't want to gamble on whether the product will hold up. And right now, that's what Gant feels like. The heritage is still there, but the product doesn't always match it anymore. Number 2, U.S. Polo Association. This one is different and honestly, a bit misleading. A lot of people think this is connected to Ralph Lauren. It's not. Completely different brand. But the name, the logo, the whole look, it creates confusion. And that's where the problem is. The polos themselves are cheaper, usually $20 to $40. But even at that price, the quality is very basic. Thin fabric, minimal structure, nothing that really stands out. So you're not getting a premium product, you're getting something designed to look like one. And a lot of people don't realize that until after they buy it. Number 1. Emporio Armani. This is where the gap between price and value gets the biggest. Emporio Armani sounds like luxury, and it's priced like it too. You'll see polos going for $150, even $200 or more. But when you look at the actual product, it doesn't reflect that level. The materials are often blends, not even premium cotton. The construction is standard. Nothing about it really stands out compared to brands costing half as much. And that's the problem. At this price, everything should feel elevated: fabric, weight, durability. But instead, most of the value is in the name on the chest. You're paying for the Armani label, not a $200 polo. Not all brands overcharge. Some focus on quality instead of marketing. These are the ones that actually make sense. Number 4. Uniqlo. If you want something simple that just works, this is where you start. Uniqlo doesn't try to look premium, and that's actually its advantage. There's no heavy branding, no big logos trying to sell you an image. They focus on basics, and they focus on getting those basics right. And you can see that in how consistent their products are. Take their polos and t-shirts. They often use better cotton than most brands at this price, especially their Supima cotton line. That means the fabric feels smoother, slightly softer, and more durable over time. It doesn't feel rough, it doesn't lose shape quickly. And that's where most cheaper brands fail. They look fine when you first buy them. But after a few washes, the collar starts to warp, the fabric twists, and the whole thing just looks worn out. Uniqlo avoids that. The stitching holds up. The structure stays intact. It keeps that clean look much longer than you'd expect at this price. And that's the key. Consistency. You know what you're getting every time. There's no guessing, no surprises. At around $20 to $30, it's not trying to compete with luxury, but for everyday wear, it delivers real value. You're not paying for a story or a name. You're paying for something that actually performs the way it should. Number 3. Sunspell. Now this is where you start to notice a real jump in quality. Sunspell isn't a mainstream brand, and that's part of why it stands out. It doesn't rely on visibility, it relies on the product itself. Their main focus is fabric, and not just any fabric. Better cotton, cleaner construction, more attention to detail. When you pick up a Sunspell polo, it feels different. The fabric has more structure. It sits better on the body. It doesn't feel thin or overly processed. It feels natural and more refined. That comes from using higher quality cotton and taking more care during production. It's not rushed. It's not mass-produced in the same way. And you notice that when you wear it, it keeps its shape longer. It ages better. It doesn't break down the way cheaper polos do. And another thing, there's almost no visible branding, which tells you everything about where the focus is. It's not about showing off the brand. It's about the product itself being good enough to stand on its own. Yes, it's more expensive, but here, the price reflects what you're actually getting. Better materials, better feel, better longevity. And once you try it, the difference is obvious. Number 2. Lacoste. Lacoste is one of the few brands where the reputation actually matches the product. They didn't just make polo shirts popular, they helped define how they should be made. And they've stayed consistent with that approach. Their polos use a structured knit fabric that feels more solid than most alternatives. It's breathable, but still holds its shape. That balance is hard to get right, and they've been doing it for decades. When you wear it, you notice the difference. The collar stays firm. It doesn't collapse after a few washes. The fabric keeps its texture instead of going flat, and that's what separates it from cheaper options. It maintains its look over time. The stitching is clean. The buttons feel solid. The overall construction feels thought out. Nothing feels rushed or cheap. And that consistency is what you're paying for. At around $100 to $130, it's not a cheap option. But compared to other brands in that range, it actually delivers. You're getting a product that's been refined over years, not just something built for marketing. The logo is there, yes, but the product behind it holds up. Number 1. Fred Perry. This is where everything comes together. Fred Perry focuses on durability, and you can feel it right away. The fabric is slightly heavier, which helps it hold its shape longer. The collar stays firm. The fit stays consistent. It doesn't wear out after a few washes like cheaper polos. And that's the difference. It's not about looking premium, it's about lasting longer. At around $100 to $130, you're paying for something that actually holds up over time. At the end of the day, price doesn't equal quality. Some brands sell you a logo, others actually deliver a product. Know the difference. If this helped, subscribe for more breakdowns like this, and comment which brand surprised you the most.